Hello everyone, this is Jake TS here, casting a game between FXOqxc and MarineKingPrime. So, this is, I'm not entirely sure where this replay is from. I've just been trawling through all the replay websites trying to find some decent games, and I thought, hey, what better TvT than between FXO himself, a Code A player. He's been on the rise recently, particularly with FXO's move to, well, not move, but exploits in Korea. He's had some decent training and should be on top notch. MarineKingPrime, on the other hand, he's recently demoted into Code A. Nevertheless, Code A is still absolutely phenomenal play. It's sort of above the EU, well, not above, definitely, but definitely a high level play, and we should be fantastic game to see. So the map's Zelnaga Caverns, so maybe expecting a bit more of tank play. I'm not entirely sure how old this is, whether it's will be include the metagame shift from sort of Marine Tank to Tank Viking, and it was indeed between Tank Hellion Viking, and it'd be interesting to see whether this is one of the games that does include that. Now, completely mirror matchups, I think nearly to the second out, which is pretty insane to see that these high-level players are just so close to one another in the opening build. The only difference so far is Marine King is going for the Warlins. He might well be worried about a bit of Hellion not drops, obviously Warlins aren't going to help against that. Sorry, slip of the tongue. He might be a bit worried about just Hellion run-bys. And QXC, on the other hand, he doesn't seem bothered. No, I'm just joking, but by the looks of the supply depot, he might well put another one here and then go for the bunker wall-in. And so far these builds are reasonably open. They've got the one gas, so we're not expecting these 3 racks cheese or proxiedness, and it's good to see. I love how mirrored they are. Like, I know it's a mirror matchup, but look at that. There's 3 seconds. It's absolutely flawless play so far. And here it looks like Marine King is going for a second gas, and might well be going for maybe some starport play or just a bit more mech play than QXC at the moment. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it could go either way at the moment, and he could well just be going for no, never mind, I was going to say go for a bit of an early stim, but he's probably going to be moving this over and trying to get some blue flames out maybe. So QXC, on the other hand, has done almost the exact same thing, apart from the factory was just a tiny bit further away, and there's a blue flame coming down along with the first Hellion well on its way. So it's just scary to see that they've clearly been well, not planning together, but both had the same sort of insights into the game. And really interesting to see at this sort of level of play, no one has gone for the Zelnaga towers. Usually in a TvT, at least one player is a little bit more aggressive, and everybody else sort of takes the sit back and macro route, and so map vision is out. But 5 minutes into the game, and really they've only just done their initial scouting. So here's the attack move, and Marine King will maybe get lucky and take out this Hellion from QXC by using his Marines, but Marines that he has trademarked for, but I guess not. And it looks like the starport is on its way, and some blue flame drops could well be devastating from either player. It's so close right at the moment. No major losses. QXC repairing up that Hellion, which is nice to see. I feel like a lot of Terrans don't seem to make use of repairing their mech units, particularly the Banshee. I don't know, a lot of players seem to have an aversion to repairing that, particularly, well, on ladder, not this sort of level, but yeah, I just find that weird. Anyway, so whether this Hellion will make it or not, I don't know. And yeah, I think he just about did. Get behind here. He needs to be careful. There are 3 there. Being roughly where they are, just losing one. So a a little bit sloppy play, well not sloppy, but just unanticipated play from QXC, and this could well be a quite effective early poke round. Starport just lifted up from QXC doing that there, and put good spread of Marines, Marines having time during the break. That was some great work over there from the Marine Kings, lifting them up and dropping them down to keep that Hellion alive, getting just a couple more extra shots, all the more makes a difference. Now seen a Raven popping out from MarineKingPrime, that could prove really pivotal in this battle. If he, that will provide not only a bit of harassment, well, I doubt actually it'll be used for that too much, but alright, this is getting scary now. This is the exact same build apart from QXC's got one more factory. Anyway, the Raven will help with some air superiority, and really, with the point defense drone, and if some Vikings start getting pumped out, which they inevitably will be, then the Raven just will mean your side wins like sort of 100% of the time. Well, unless you're too sloppy. And a great little block there with the barracks. It's not just doing anything. It's great to see it getting a bit more use out of these buildings. Not only is it going to delay the building a bit more, MarineKingPrime, it would not surprise me at all if he managed to get this out alive. And so far, it looks like they're just going to sit back and build up an army. It's 9 minutes into the game, and so far, I mean, let's check the unit count. Pretty much the same on SCV count. Medevac each, a couple of Hellions, and a Raven. So surprisingly small armies for this stage in the game. They've both gone one base for quite a while, and that's obviously the reason. And this drop here just easily being pushed back without any loss at all. So good game senses there from QXC. It's this sort of stage in the game where if they're not careful it could well progress onto a stalemate, and so that's why he was prepared. Now QXC going to the armory, and he'll be going for upgrades, that upgrade lead on Marine King, which could be a huge deal if he manages to get some out without with Marine King behind. Then his Marine King won't anticipate it unless he obviously regularly checks. I'm sure he does, but if you check once it's done and then only just start your armory, then you're sort of 2 minutes, 3 minutes behind, and the Hellions will be devastating. Now they're going to walk right into these tanks here, and they're just going to have to retreat. The couple of Vikings are out, and they're going to be pretty big deal if they take any medevacs out, which aren't actually existent. My bad. So now one Viking is coming out for QXC. Surprised not to see this start generating the reactor for the starport, but he could well not. He doesn't look like he actually can afford production, particularly with the delay from that barracks. So that barracks has provided some valuable scouting information. It's revealed no tanks, in fact nothing but Hellions from QXC. And QXC has just slotted this, going in for a bit of a kill, but these siege tanks here, very clever move from Marine King. They're going to just negate the small effect of the Hellions. They're going to just turn the tide completely. And this push is looking very, very scary now. Siege tech is on the way for QXC as well, but he's only just got a couple tanks out now, and siege tech's not even started for Marine King though. So if this finishes and then he sieges up, that can completely devastate Marine King's push at the moment. And these Marine King's auto turrets here taking down the supply depot and pushing the forces back to QXC. Really great back and forth play, but Marine King has been the aggressor way more of the time. He's now getting into the Nor line. Oh, this is not good for QXC. He's now having to SCVs versus tanks. Oh, it's never going to be a good fight. And they did actually take one down, which, wow, go SCVs. They've taken another down, but all lost with a retreat back to these auto turret lines. These lasted 4 minutes. No, not quite 3, but still a stupidly long time. And the QXC's own auto turret popping down, and the SCV massive repair on this. However, the economic damage is huge, and particularly with this Marine King now as a full base up. I know he's got this, but he doesn't really have that. No SCVs there. He's going to have a massive deficit of 45 to 22. Oh dear, this is not looking good for QXC at all. I'm not sure how he can recover from this. He's going to have to all in soon or GG out. And if he can take down these couple of tanks and then go for a big, get as many tanks as he can as quick as possible, he does have 2 factories and he could turn the tides of this game, but it's not looking good. The Hellions here from Marine King, oh, I thought they were going to try and block that, but they did not. And he needs some power units to deal some heavy damage and really turn the tide of the battle. That's what Marine King's brilliance there was with the tanks. QXC is not keeping up. A Banshee coming out, which is absolutely amazing to see. He knows QXC is not going for any sort of anti-air at all because he has engineering bay, and in fact has left some workers there instead of putting them back into the gas. He's left them. But the Banshee will just be devastating. Marine QXC really is on the back foot at the moment. And oh god, it was, the command centre is on fire. In fact, it might well be taken down. But no air units just to pick it off. And these workers might well just repair it and save it. However, the Marine King is really not letting up. He knows he's got his opponents up against the ropes. He's really making use of this. These workers have finally been finished moving them back to mining. Oh dear indeed. Marine King back at his base, however, he's going for his third. Probably hasn't decided to take down the rocks or the gold, so he might well just be going for the safer blue base. And there's the GG. And it looks like when that Banshee came in, QXC knew what could he do. The Banshee will just sit down, take down all his drones, SCVs. Anyway, you've been watching JTS here. I hope you enjoyed that. I thought that was fantastic TvT, brilliant. So I will see you later.